all the way down to Christ himself. So all of them were initiates of this system. And so this is what I began researching years ago. And for me, just putting the piece out online was just a way to just say that it's okay to ask a question. I mean, to me, at least tell me something. Don't just sit here and just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. I totally believe what Stevie Wonder said, that if you believe in things you don't understand, then you'll suffer. Superstition ain't the way. It's okay for us to have these conversations, and that's really, my goal. I also remember reading, and I have a copy of a book by Sigmund Freud called Moses and Monotheism. And in that book, he too states that that Moses was black and Moses was an Egyptian, was an African. And don't get confused by those who you see in Egypt now as the original people of Egypt. That land has been colonized, has been taken over by so many different cultures and different people. In fact, it wasn't until the 1950s that Egypt saw its first indigenous leader in over 2,000 years with Gamal Abdul Nasser. And that's why he came to unify three different worlds: the African world, the Muslim world, and the Arab world. Scared the crap out of the West, so much so that they had to help lead to his overthrow. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that. But overall, when we talk about Easter, all you have to do is Google it. The information is out there. You can learn more information about that. But if you would like to get more information about this, you can easily do so. You can go to my site at devinlwalkerbooks.com, or I created a separate website for when I was organizing in the church, and it's just called churchappeal.com. Just go to churchappeal.com. It's going to automatically forward you to my site, and you can get a copy of this. Or if you even want to do a study group with it, let me know. I'll be glad to do so. There's a lot of great information in here. This book reads more like an encyclopedia, but I've done workshops. I have a workshop called Proud to be African, and so I love to be able to share information with you about that. And for those that have been following my posts about monopoly, there's a reason why I did that, other than just to expose that history. But we have to understand what a monopoly is and how does it relate to poverty that we see in the world today. And I have a chapter in this book called Monopoly Capitalism. So when I say in this book, an appeal to the African church in America, beware of false prophets, I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about money. I'm talking about capitalism. I'm talking about how our churches have sanctioned the status quo and have turned a blind eye. Not all churches, a vast majority of them, a good number of them that come out of the Judeo-Christian foundation, have pretty much turned a blind eye to all this knowledge and become part of the system. And so this was my book to help really gather, over this. In this book, about 12 years worth of work that I've done, not only research, but I got programs of action here, things that I've done in the church, things I tried to do in the church that wasn't successful. I even put in here programs of action that you can pick up if you are in a church right now. You need this book. You can take a look at some of the programs of action that I have in here, because while I was in church, I would go to programs and I hear people singing and shouting and praising, but all I heard was silence, because I didn't hear in that praise us speaking out against people being killed, our people being killed in Africa, overthrows of government by the United States, going from Ghana to the Congo, to things that was going on in South Africa all these years. And then what you see what's going on in Palestine right now, and all the overthrown governments that the United States participated in Latin, Central and South America, and the Caribbean, and what we see what's going on with our people in Haiti right now. There's so much connection that's there, and we have to lift our voice. I will say this one last thing before I go. Yes, I am a children's music entertainer, but everything I'm doing is directly related to that, because this whole week leading up to Easter, or last week leading all the way up to Easter, schools everywhere was making Easter egg baskets and doing Easter egg hunts, and celebrating all these things without telling our children the truth. And that to me is a crime. Our children deserve to know the truth about Easter. They deserve to know the truth so that they can grow up and be critical thinkers, instead of just having someone dictate to them that this is how things are and you just accept it. That's not how I roll. And all those songs that they sing about Easter need to be updated. But also we need to have counter songs that will teach the true history of Easter Monday, both past and present, like I did with my song A Go-Go Fun Day, the history of Easter Monday right here in Washington, D.C. If you haven't seen that, go to my YouTube page, Uncle Devin Show, and look up A Go-Go Fun Day, the history of Easter Monday in D.C. And then we can, you feel free to comment and let me know your thoughts. So anyway, thank you again for checking us out. You can if you want more information about the book, I'm gonna be doing some more teaching straight out of here, because I've had this book now 24 years. Shout out to African World Books in Baltimore, my good friend Nati and Tabia, who actually published this book for me 24 years ago. So I still have plenty of copies of these here, and we can touch on that. So thank you so much. If you have some questions, comments, input, feedback, let me know. I'll be glad to respond. All right. Y'all take care. Here is an aspect of African history of the Bible many people don't know. In the Old Testament, here's the racist history of the folk song, I've Been Working on the Railroad, that many people don't know. Let's dive into the history of Ain't Your Mama. In 1889, Chris Rudd and Charles Underwood started. In 1991, Parker Brothers became a part of the Hansbrough brand. And of course, any comments or questions that you have about this, please let me know. I've seen some put some very great comments, or all comments are great. No one has been disrespectful or anything to that degree. So all the comments have been great. Whether we agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. The fact that is we're having a conversation, and that's really what I look forward to is learning as much as I hope to be able to teach.